everyone. I'm here on special request to do an updated video of my anime collection. As you can see, most of it's over here behind me, and yeah, it's kind of hard to get to because I bought a bigger TV a couple years ago, and yeah, it's kind of behind there. But what you see back there is my signed posters. Also, it's kind of next to my movie collection back here, too. So, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull all of my anime out, set it on the table here, and just show you guys each one, and show you which one is more special, or the signed ones specifically. A lot of my anime is signed, so yeah. I do have a lot of it to go over, and this is my first video since my interview with Carl Newman. So, yeah, maybe take a break from the Batman stuff, and even though I got a Batman poster, like, right behind me, signed by Danny Elfman, because I'm a nerd, take a break from the Batman stuff, and kind of get back into some anime stuff again. So, let's start showing off this collection. Let's hit it. You guys don't judge me. I'm getting to the anime, just give me a minute. My Disturbed CD, signed by David Draymond. My Blu-rays, signed Blu-rays over here. I can't get all the way back there, but that is mostly my display, except for my little Kirei Kotomine plush. And don't worry, this will not be the last thing you see of Kirei here, because we're going into my anime collection. But yeah, that's it. And here is the anime collection, starting from here, going all the way down. So we've got quite a thing to do, quite a ways to go. I'm going to pull each one out. I guess I'll sit on the floor and do this because it'll be easier than sitting at the table and reaching back and forth. But yeah, I'm just going to do it this way. This is my massive collection here. I kind of updated a few things since the past 4 years, but let's get started. Okay, this is the top shelf. Like, all this, yeah, that too. This is the top shelf. This is what sits on top of my top shelf here, starting with the Dragon box sets, which, you know, this is probably the most expensive sets that I own. There's no joke about that. These are probably the most expensive box sets that I own on my top shelf. They are freaking expensive as hell. Well, actually, the funny thing is about this one, I actually bought it back when it was first on sale. So, yep. And I got this one signed by Linda Young, who is just one of my favorite human beings in the world. A lot of people don't like the Funimation English dub to Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z, but me, I got a massive soft spot for it. However, Volume 2 here, I got on sale in 2021 at a library, and basically the guy he closed down the library in Texas, and he was just putting these up for sale. Surprisingly, I only paid about maybe $50 for this one. Maybe. I didn't pay much because it didn't have all the content in it, but, you know, I was just happy to own it. And it did have some scratches on it, but I did have to refurbish it, which is, yeah, my life story. Volume 3 here, I got lucky with these. I found them at a yard sale, which is just insane. But these were the cheapest ones because the guy was selling them for maybe 30 bucks. And they were in mint condition, but missing the outer cases. But to me, this is the best way to watch Dragon Ball Z. I mean, other than the Seed of Might guys that actually are working their butts off trying to put it together, it's the best way to watch it. Here is Volume 4, which I had bought this one in 2021. In 2021, I went on a complete anime selling brigade, and I actually sold my Rock the Dragon box set, which sold for over 300 bucks. That, believe it or not, yeah, it really sold for that much. But I was able to afford this one, which was 150 even. And yeah, this is the most expensive, I would say, that I own of this set. Ironically, because I bought it in 2021 and it's still in mint condition. It was actually brand new when I bought it, which, yeah. I don't have it signed, so I'm not really going to pick it apart. It's my baby, though. One of my babies, because it consists of one of my favorite sagas. Here is Volume 4, and there's a fun fact about this one. This was my first Dragon Ball Z set. This one I bought when I graduated high school, and back in 2011 or 2010, one of those two dates. My mind's murky, don't judge me. And I had my graduation money, and I bought this one. And it is the most special to me. One, it has the Cell Saga finishing up with the Cell Saga, and I actually did get this one signed. Stephanie Nadonli, the voice of Kid Gohan and Kid Goku. I prefer her version over Colleen. I apologize to anyone that is a fan. Actually went out of her way to sign this for me, and she did it as a birthday gift for my 25th birthday, I believe. It was my 25th birthday she signed for it. She said because 25 is her favorite number. Yep, here we go. She signed right here, and there's another one where she signed as Baby Trunks on here somewhere. I don't know what I did with it, but yeah, she signed it on there, and you know, she's just really cool. Stephanie is one of my favorite voice actresses, voice people, and, you know, I'm so glad she got to come back as Kid Goku in Dragon Ball Daima, the English dub to that. Here's Volume 6, which, as you see, I had to get another custom case. Somebody was selling on eBay just the discs, and, yeah, these were surprisingly cheap on there. They're in mint condition, too, but I had a friend of mine from Ireland who actually ran an Etsy shop, customized this for me so it would match on my shelf. Now, this is the most expensive one I own. This one I bought just last year around this time in 2025, and it freaking cost me a pretty penny. Like, holy crap. Let's just say this is the most expensive collection out. This is the most expensive set out of all the anime that I own. You put it together, it cost me a fortune. That's all I'm going to say, but my OCD would not let me rest until I got Volume 7 myself. So, yeah, it's kind of nuts on how far I went to get this one. It was not cheap. That's all I'm going to say. Now, here is my movie box. Now, there is more Dragon Ball Z box sets than this, but here is my movie sets. And I keep these around for a specific reason. And a lot of people are probably going to laugh on why. But the Funimation DVD sets look better, and the soundtrack mixing is better in this version. And they actually keep, like, the Disturbed and Deftones and Breaking Point music in these. So, yeah. And I did actually get one signed by Linda Young. Yeah, I just loved what she put here. I'm more powerful than him. I love that. Linda is just amazing. Here is the Broly set. I kept this for the same reason as, say, the Lord Slug box set over here. And I actually did get one signed by the man, the myth, the legend himself, Vic Mignogna. He was so cool that he actually signed this. And Vic, you guys already know, is a personal friend of the channel. His interview actually broke 13,000 views in like 2 days on my channel. Here we are. This is my favorite DBZ box set that I own. The Ocean Dub Uncut Movie Trilogy set. Oh my goodness. Yes, I love this even more than the Dragon boxes because the dub in this set is uncut and it's perfection. And on top of that, I actually got them signed by Peter Kalamas, the Ocean Dub voice of Goku, who is my favorite English Goku. He signed both of them. This is my favorite DBZ movie of all time, too. The World's Strongest is freaking brutal. It's original. The voice cast is great. The Ocean Dub cast does a great job. Saffron Henderson's in it. Freaking Peter Kalamas. Scott McNeil is my favorite Piccolo. Like, this is how DBZ should have been dubbed. These experiments are the best to me. I do have the Tree of Might. I haven't watched it. It's not signed, or anything, but I do have a special memory with this one. The last time I watched it, a friend was over, and she was watching it with me, and it was just so cool. Next up is Dragon Ball. And yeah, I went completely out of order here. Sorry about that. I went completely out of order. I have the very first Blue Brick Dragon Ball set here. And if you see that little signature, yes, Chuck Huber himself signed that for me. Chuck is also a friend of the channel, and he was my very first interview I ever did on my entire YouTube. The dude is badass. I don't have any more of these signed. They're season 2. Most of these, if you look, I actually bought them. They're ancient relics. You see these little green stickers? I bought these at a store called Hastings before they closed out, and good God, do I miss that store. It's been 9 years. No, it's been 10 years since they've closed their doors. I would go there like every weekend as a teenager even, and I would just load up on these sets. Season 4. Now, I don't really have much of these signed. That's kind of the thing here. So, yeah. That was my entire first shelf. Let's move on to the second shelf, because that's where the un-Dragon Ball stuff is. Okay. We're on to the second shelf now, and I guess I'll show each of these piece by piece. Now, there's a lot here. So, yeah, a lot of this is stuff people have seen before. Right here is probably the second most expensive box set I've ever spent money on. Look at this thing. Monster. Now, I do know that Diotech is releasing the Monster series, but I bought this back in 2022 or 2023. I'm thinking 22. And it was a pretty penny. It comes from Australia. And yeah, it was pretty expensive. But it is my second favorite anime of all time. And I do have these actually signed. I've got the first one here. I'll have to remove the disc. Signed by Keith Silverstein, the voice of Johan. I only get them signed by the English dub voice actors, guys. So if you're going to complain elsewhere. Let's see, Volume 2. I do have signed. Up here in this little corner, it is signed by Derek Stephen Prince. Well, what I did was I had the original US box set, and I took the sleeve out of it, and I did get it signed by Derek Stephen Prince. And what I did here was when I sent my Kingdom Hearts 3 case to be signed by him, he also signed my Monster case. And yeah, I gave my bootleg Monster set to my little sister, so that way she could use it. But this one is officially signed by Paul St. Peter. Now, a lot of you guys know him as Xemnas from the Kingdom Hearts franchise, but I'll always know him as Dr. Rackfine because, you know, he just played that part so well. The diabetes-looking dude from Monster. And part 3, which is probably my favorite cover because it has some of my favorite characters on it. Inspector Lunge, Ava. Yeah, I kind of got a crush on Ava in later viewings of the series. I used to hate this character, but I just love that. And yeah, I did the same thing here. I got Richard Epcar, the voice of Inspector Lunge, to sign. And yeah, I just freaking love this. Look at that. Look at that. My trip into imagination has become reality. Richard Epcar, man, he is a pretty cool dude. He was just more than happy. When I sent my Dream Drop Distance case to be signed by him, he gladly said he would sign the Monster case. I send a lot of my cases out by mail to be signed. It's a lot less expensive than going to conventions, I know. This one's not signed. Whenever I get a chance to contact Nina's voice actress, I plan to have her sign this one. Hopefully, she will, because she is just so cool. Next up is my Madoka Magica set. Unfortunately, not signed, but I do have autographs from the English cast on paper, so it's okay. I love this series a lot. It's so freaking dark, and it's by the same creative team who did one of my favorite anime series of all time. No need to get into that. Here's another favorite, Steel Angel Kurumi, and I had to buy these separate, sadly, because the box set, it's just so expensive anymore. But I did get these signed, and I got them signed by somebody that did come on to my channel as a guest, Hillary Haig. She signed this one, And she signed Volume 3 here, which is just great. The funny story is I contacted her herself, and I basically just added her on Facebook. I said, would you please sign my Steel Angel Kurumi set? And then in 2021, when I asked her for an interview, I was the very first person to interview her basically ever. So, yeah, that was great. The rest of these, they're not signed, but I do plan to find Kurumi's voice actress and ask her to sign these. There's this one. Encore is one of my favorite little side stories of the series. It's just great. But yeah, that about caps it off. I do have this one fully. And yeah, I kind of combined it. In here is a note from Hillary. And she was thanking me for the... Yeah, here it is. The coffee mug that I designed for her for Christmas in 2020. So yeah, my Yu Yu Hakusho set is next. Now, I don't really have any of these signed. I do, but I don't, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I do have the whole series of Yu Yu Hakusho. I started buying these back in 2012. I love these. I mean, it's a great series. I think I do actually have this one signed, but I'm not for sure. Oh, yep, I do. The good old Chuck Huber has returned, the voice of Hiei. He signed that for me way back in 2015 or 16, one of the two. He also signed this for me. And I'm very proud of this one right here. The Dragon of the Darkness Flame! Yeah, Chuck is what you would call the ultimate badass guy. I love Chuck. I don't think I have any more of these signed. Yeah, I don't. But, yeah, here we go. The last one. I have the full series. I'm very proud of it. Here we go. Tenchi Muo. This one is pretty special to me. I mean, this was one of my first animes. So, yeah. I have the full series, Tenchi Universe, and it's old. It is very old. So, but I do actually have this one signed. If you can see it, Sherry Lynn, the voice of Sasami, signed it. Super sweet person. Absolutely love her. She was a guest on the channel too. I think she may have signed... Oh, she did. Oh, I actually have a couple of things signed. This case is falling apart. I think that's Petra's autograph right here. She voiced Ryoko, the English voice to Ryoko, and yeah, she really liked some of my designs. And here we go. Sherry Lynn again signed here. She basically wrote out a note saying thank you, and she liked the shirt that I designed her for the interview. So yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this one because it's very slow, but I enjoy it. Coming up next, the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Yeah, I have the full series here, and I don't know if I have them all signed or not. I'm not going to go picking them apart. Actually, I do have one signed, I'm sure. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Chris Patton actually did sign this one, the voice of Greed. The first version of Greed, actually. None of the rest of these are. Well, there might be one, actually, but I would really have to look. And I think it's in the final set. I'm pretty sure it's in the final set here. I have to really look. No, I guess not. I thought I had one from Kent Williams in here, but I suppose I don't. Next up, I cannot put these off any longer. These are my babies right here. Oh, yeah. My Blu-ray of Fate Zero, which, yeah, I had to buy the Australian version of it so that way I could watch it. I have a region-free Blu-ray player, and I wanted to collect it. Everyone knows that I'm a massive Kirei Kotomine fan, and that's the entire reason why I own this whole freaking series on Blu-ray. Here is Unlimited Blade Works, and these actually are special because, well, I do have them double signed. Julianne Taylor, the voice of Taiga, actually signed this one. And I believe she signed the inside too, but I know that's not the only one she signed. And that's not the only person to sign these. Here we go. Just what I thought. Carrie Walgreen actually signed this one too. Yeah, so let's just say I got most of my Fate movies or Fate DVDs all signed. And here is my big one. My Heaven's Feel box sets. I don't know if I showed these off the last video or not, but these babies, oh, good God, are they special. Now, oh, yeah, that's from Mela Lee, the voice of Reen, and I didn't know exactly where to put this. I don't know who this character is, so I stuck it in this box set, just to keep it safe. But yeah, these are pretty special. And if you're going to ask, yes, they cost me a pretty penny. They come with a little art book, which is just phenomenal. I love the artwork. I love the extra work in here. I do watch these about every Christmas because, you know, I feel like that they're Christmas trilogy, that they go straight into spring. I don't know. I just really enjoy these. These are just, these are one of my favorite anime movies of all time. They're very, very important trilogy to me. And I watch them every Christmas time. It's just an amazing, I mean, look at this artwork here. Look at this. Look at that. You got Assassin, Rider, Lancer. Oh, man. Those are actually some of the main components of the trilogy, too. So, yeah, this one, part one actually wasn't that expensive. It was maybe an extra $20 bump from the regular single Blu-ray price. Part two, however, was. And I do love the artwork on part two. Look at that. Yeah, I'm kind of nerding out over here. I'm still so happy I own this. The only reason I got a good discount on it was because it has shelfware. But the guy did sell it to me cheaply. And yeah, oh yeah, look at me with my Mela Lee little sticker that she put in there. I'm not going to show all the artwork and stuff, but I am going to show the main components. Yeah, this one is... Oh, yeah, I love the artwork on this one. And then this one I bought. It's an Australian version from another country. And, you know, look at that. This is my favorite one of the trilogy. And surprisingly, I did have this one signed too. I'm pretty sure. Yep, right in here. From... well, I actually have to take the disc out. Yep, you can barely see it because she wrote it in black, but that is also signed by Tyga's voice actress, Julianne Taylor, who is just one of the sweetest human beings in the world. It came with its own art book. It's like a mini version of those two, but I'm counting it in the same continuity. Don't judge me. Next is my G Gundam sets. Now, I do have the Blu-rays to these, believe it or not. But I'm not showing them off because, one, they're under my TV somewhere, on my shelf under my TV, and I don't feel like digging for them. But I'm showing these off specifically because each of these bad boys were signed. So, well, almost each of them, like in each set. So, yeah, a lot of these were signed. I don't think any of them in this one were, Volume 1. And here's a fun fact about Volume 1. I have had this one since high school. It is so worn down, but it is still watchable. People still can watch this one. All the episodes play. It plays perfectly. And it's definitely got the most shelfware, I think. One of the most, because I used to lend this thing out constantly. Like, all the time I would lend this one out. I had friends that would just come up to me in high school. Like, dude, I want to borrow your G Gundam set. There's just so many funny stories about G Gundam. Actually, surprisingly, this one doesn't have the most shelfware. In fact, I think Volume 4 does. Here's Volume 2, which I actually had to buy Volume 2 separately, which is kind of funny because I wanted it to match my other sets. So this is actually the newest of my sets here. Here we go. This one is signed. You can't tell, but I actually got it signed by Kyoji's voice actor / Schwartz's voice actor. And if you guys don't know the twist behind that, well, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but he was a pretty cool dude. And when I asked him to sign that for me, he was like, yeah, no problem. Matt Embry was so freaking cool. And I also got to interview him for the channel. Another fun fact about G Gundam was getting to interview Dr. Mark Gatha, the voice of Domon, which is one of my biggest interviews on the entire channel. What happened was I just called his doctor's office and I was like, dude, could you come down here? I mean, would you do an interview with me? It's a long shot. He replied. His office called me and replied and said, yeah, we will. Here is volume 3, which I got signed by Carol Ann Day. She is the voice of Allenby, my favorite G Gundam character. She was just so cool to do that. She also signed one of my mangas. So that's probably why I still watch this set opposed to the Blu-rays. Here is box 4. Box 4 definitely has the most damaged shelfware. And it's probably the one I've lent out the most. In high school, and, well, I didn't really lend them out much in my adulthood, but I lent these bad boys out a lot in high school. I had friends that would just borrow them and watch the hell out of them. And yeah, these are definitely... Oh, here we go. This one is also signed by Carol Ann Day, the voice of Allenby. So I do have these signed, and me being the massive G Gundam fan that I am, had Domon Kasshu himself on my channel. I am that much of a dork. Coming up next is my Ranma 1/2 sets. Now, I normally don't talk about Ranma on my channel very often, but I will today, because what the hell. There's nothing really too unique about each of these sets, but I'll just go into detail on them anyway. And I do have them on my very bottom shelf too. I think I have one of these signed. I would actually have to look. I do, actually. Venus Terzo, I hope I pronounced that right. The English girl Ranma actually did sign these for me. And not only did she, but I think it's on my next one. My volume 2 here. Now, this thing is just massively big. So, I know it's in here. No, I don't have it on this one. This one's not got a signed one. God, I must be getting Alzheimer's or something because I'm getting all my signed stuff mixed up. Volume 3, which was the actual first box set of Ranma that I ever bought. And a fun fact about this, I gave this one to a friend and she gave it back to me later. And the only reason she wanted it was because Moose was in the episode. So, yeah. She kind of likes Brad Swell's voice actor. I mean, Brad Swell is a voice actor. I mean, who doesn't? It's Light Yagami. God, I swear I had it on here. You know what? I think it's in my volume 1 set. It's David Kay's signature, who did the voice of Akane's dad. This one's not signed, but it's the OVA specials. But this one is signed by Venus Terzo again. And it's one of my favorite films, Big Trouble in Nikonlan, China. And I don't know, I love this movie a lot. It's in my top 10s of favorite Ranma films. I have to keep going on that. Next up is my other, like, miscellaneous stuff that I put at the end of the shelves here. This is the last portion of the second shelf that I have. Wrath of the Dragon and Sleeping Princess and Devil's Castle. The History of Trunks. Yeah, I told you wouldn't see the last of DBZ here. Here we go. Cowboy Bebop. This is one of my babies here. This is actually one of the first box sets I got when I got out of high school, and my grandma, she had bought this for my 20th or 19th birthday, and I've always had it. And to make it even special, in 2018, I got it signed by Vicious's voice actor, Skip Stelrett, who also plays Might Guy in Naruto. So, yeah. Here's another one, Gungrave. And this one is signed by Bo Billingsley. And there's another one here, too. He wrote in black, but the late, great Tom Warner also signed this one. And finally, my Yu-Gi-Oh! Set of the uncut dub, which I have made a video on in the past about. I had to buy the other 2 discs separate, and they didn't have cases, so I basically just took apart a DVD case and just put them in here. And finally, the last one on the shelf is my Trigun box set. Another one that I got from Hastings back in the day. There's no green label on this one. I bought this one brand new. And there it is, right here. Up top here is Richard Cancino's autograph. And he did the voice of Legato Blue Summers. This is turning out to be kind of a longer video than I thought. I guess I have a lot to go over. So next up is the third shelf, the final portion of the shelf that I'm going to go over. So let's go over that. All right, here's the third shelf with, this is basically just the miscellaneous stuff. Stuff that's not actually complete yet. Over here is my Naruto Part 1 sets, and there's a fun fact for you. I started buying these out in high school. Now, I do like these, prefer these better because of the artwork in them. The artwork is so cool. I just love that. Now, I have never shown these specific sets before. I've actually had these for a long time. Most of them for a very long time. I started buying them out in high school, and then when I graduated, I started to complete the sets, but I really never had specifically shown these box sets off before. Volume 2, which was one of the first ones that I bought, and oh man, it's gone. Oh, well, at one point I had Brian Donovan's autograph on these, but he did sign this one right here. He's the voice of Rock Lee, which I don't think I have to tell anyone that. Unfortunately, yeah, he did have the front signed, but it sadly rubbed off there. Volume 3 was one of the first ones that I bought in high school. And I actually had given this one to somebody I was very close to, or am very close to. And she had a thing with writing her name on them. I don't know if she does that anymore or not, because I haven't seen her collection in years. But yeah, she had a thing with writing her name on them, and then when she gave it back to me, yeah, but she didn't mess with the artwork here, surprisingly. Oh, it seems that I do have Brian Donovan strikes again. Don't ask me why I had that put in there. I don't know. Lee is my favorite character in the Naruto set. Well, anyway, here's volume 4. And this one was one of the big ones that I bought. This one is over 10 years old. And I bought this one out. I have a funny story about this one. This one has the entire Rock Lee versus Gaara fight. And I have an interesting, funny story about that. Because that is my favorite Naruto fight to this day. And I had a friend, well, my best friend actually walked up to me, and I didn't have cable at the time, and I couldn't afford sets like this at the time. I lived in poor area. I was a very poor person. I couldn't have cable or anything like that. It sucked. But she walked up to me and was like, well, if the Rock Lee versus Gaara fight is your favorite, I'll record it for you, like out of the blue. And then after that, we became best friends, like for years. And yeah, when I bought the box, I still have that VHS tape to this day. I still hung on to it, and it is like over 17 years old. It's ancient. But this one, yeah, this was like one of the first ones I had to buy. I bought it off Walmart.com when Walmart.com was a thing, and it would get sent to the Laleway area before they started shipping it to your house. And I just love these box sets. The designs, everything about these are just so cool. I love that front cover. Volume 5. Now, I do believe that I actually do have this one signed. Maybe, maybe not. I'm not sure. Oh, I do, actually. I got this one signed by Steve Staley, the voice of Neji. Before anyone asks, I actually had the entire Team Guy cast on my channel. That includes Skip Stelrett, Danielle Judovitz, Steve Staley, and Brian Donovan. And here's another one that I got. I'm pretty sure this one's signed. Now, after Volume 6, they kind of stopped doing the whole, what do you call it, interesting artwork, because it was just one color. Just the inside is mainly colorized. Oh, I do have it signed. Look at that. I got this one signed by Danielle Judovitz, and she put, "You rock." I love that. So I have the entire Team Guycast autographs on all my box sets. I do have Skips somewhere. It's on my Shippuden sets, but I cannot find my Shippuden sets. Here we are with Volume 7, and we see our little mystery right here about the markings of these. Like I said, yeah. But unfortunately, yeah, they started losing their color and fancy artwork right here, which is sad. But I do like that these are... Uh-oh. Well, look at that. Maybe I shouldn't show that one off. But still, yeah. I do like that these are pretty special. I got this one off Walmart. Most of these I bought off Walmart.com when I was a teenager. Okay, most of them. I didn't finish them up until I became an adult buying the rest of the series because it was just... And I had to buy them this way because it was just cheaper. And I got the cool artwork. I do love the artwork in these. These are just so cool. Here's another one, Volume 9. I have all 15 volumes of Part 1, but I don't have any room for Part 1 to sit on my shelf. This one I did buy in store, though, at a Hastings. And yes, $14.99 is unbelievably cheap, especially for back then. This was consistent one of my favorite arcs, the retrieval of Sasuke arc. So here's another, Volume 10, which is the finishing of that arc, and it has my favorite, one of my favorite fights, Kimimaro versus Rock Lee. Oh, I actually do have this one signed. Brian Donovan yet again. I wasn't even aware I got this one signed. That's, my goodness, I've sent so much crap out to be signed over the years. It's crazy. Now, Volume 11, they stopped sending booklets for some reason, and the rest of them are just, you know, these are the filler ones. That's why I really don't have these on display, because of the filler, but they do have some funny episodes, like the What's Under Kakashi's Mask and stuff like that. And I do find some of the filler episodes awesome. And my favorite filler section actually comes from this one, is the Raiga section, the Curry of Life arc. And I don't know, I just love that. And I did get this one signed by Brian Donovan. This was actually the very first thing Brian ever signed for me. I had to send it out. It was just so cool. But yeah, they stopped doing so much good artwork with these afterwards. I have 13, 14, and 15 somewhere, and 16, but they're buried pretty much, and I can't really get them. Same with my Shippuden sets. So that's as far as I'm going to show on the Naruto sets. Next up is this series, Master Keaton. And if the artwork looks familiar to anybody, it's because of, it's the same creator as Monster, Naoki Urasawa. And I hope I pronounced that right. I probably butchered it. It's in English, but the series is dubbed by Ocean, and unfortunately, it was not finished. So I don't have the rest of the series, sadly. But still, here is my next sets, the Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040. And the only reason I own these sets, yes, I know it's a girl series, I don't care. The only reason I own these sets is because one of my favorite voice actresses plays in the series, Hilary Haig, and she is just fantastic. Here's my Gintama movie. And this is one of the first DVD covers I ever got signed. I got it signed by Chris Patton, who did the voice of Gintoki for just this movie. Unfortunately, they never dubbed it with the rest of the cast. They decided to have Ocean do it, and then they came back and had Hulu do it later. But I don't know. I just think Chris Patton himself is a fantastic Gintoki Sakata. He kind of captures his attitude perfectly, and I would have loved to have seen more of him. My Wolfsbane set, unfortunately not signed, so that's that. Tokyo Ghoul, which I don't think I have this one signed. Nope, I do not have this one signed, and it's falling apart. I didn't watch this one much, and it kind of fell a few times back when I had a smaller shelf, so it's not in the best of shape. And I only own season 1. There is the Bleach sets that I own. This one is not signed, but I do like the artwork in these. I think they're great. Although they really didn't leave much to the imagination with some of the artwork. It's just kind of clips from these single DVDs. But I do like that. It's kind of unique. Hold on there. I'm having trouble putting this back in here. There's a lot of shelf wear on these. These are kind of old. This one is actually signed. And it's not just signed by anyone. It's actually signed by somebody. Let's see if I can find him. If he's on here. There we go. There we go. Kenpachi's voice actor himself, David Lodge. Oh, yeah. And a lot of people know him as Jiraiya, but I had to have him sign this bad boy. I mean, it was the only way I could really get something Bleach signed. And the way I had to send this box set was pretty interesting. I actually had to take the cover out and send it to him by mail, and then I had to glue it back in with super glue. It's a funny story. A very funny story. Going forward is more Bleach stuff. Here is right here. This one is just the this one has my favorite Bleach fight in it, Ikkaku versus Eterod Leonis. So really, this is when they started losing their luster here. But can you guess my favorite Bleach movie? Yeah, Bleach movie 2. And look who signed this one. David Lodge, yet again. And he's not the only one to sign this. Opening it up here is Keith Silverstein's signature. He voiced the villain in the movie, by the way. So, like I said, we're not done with Keith Silverstein just yet. And on the back is Vic Mignogna's signature. Yeah, Vic voices Ikkaku, and Ikkaku is my favorite Bleach character. Don't judge me. It's just one of those things. So next up is my Fooly Cooly box set, which is pretty special. I know this is only 6 episodes long, and it was probably excessive to buy it this way, but look at that artwork. There's a problem. I actually had the set originally just on one disc, all 6 episodes on one disc, but I couldn't say no because look at the artwork on this. Oh man, I could go on and on about the artwork. Look at that. These 3 volumes right here, and I actually got it signed by David Mallow before he passed away. He was the voice of Amuro, the guy with the eyebrows. But yeah, I mainly just bought this for the artwork because I just found the artwork so enduring. And half the reason I waste my money on anime is just for the artwork alone. In fact, apparently it came with a thing where you could get a free Fooly Cooly shirt if you fill it out. But I think it was out of date. But look, it actually came with manga panels, which is great. Everyone knows I'm a big fan of this series. Oh, there's stickers, I guess is what these are. I never used them. And here we go. There's a little booklet in here. Yeah, I'm a big FLCL fan. So, oh, there is something in here. And it did come from the DVDs of it. And it is signed by Kerry Walgreen. And I put it in here because the DVD I no longer use. I think I sold it. I don't know what I did with the all 6 on one disc. And I kind of wish I could have kept it because, well, you know, you're watching just 2 episodes a disc on here. And when I feel like binging the series again. But I just couldn't say no to this artwork alone. This artwork is gorgeous. We're getting close to the end here. Here is, well, believe it or not, more Dragon Ball stuff. Dragon Ball GT, Season 1 and 2. Believe it or not, I think I may actually have one of these signed. Maybe. Not this one. Not volume 2. The problem with Funimation and these green bricks is that they never can hold a DVD very long. And it's just infuriating. Season 1 here, which I do like. You know what? I like GT. Don't judge me about it. I like GT. Oh, yep. Here we go. Stephanie Donnelly returns yet again. I'm not done quite yet. I do have some more stuff. Like I said, a lot of my anime is signed these days. And, well, I have more stuff to go over. You know what? This green thing. I hate these green slipcovers. In a way, I'm glad that they don't do these anymore because I hate these green slipcovers. God, they're annoying. Sorry. Next up is some of the movie sets and other series that I own. Oh, wait, I do actually have another Tenchi, though. And this one is signed by Ryoko's voice actress yet again, Petra Picard, and I cannot pronounce her name. She signed the front and back for me. She is so cool. Battle of Gods was signed by Chris Sabat. And as you can see, I threw away the slipcover because I just, yeah. Bardock, the Father of Goku, was signed by Linda Young. Next up is, I'll show that one after I'm done with the Dragon Ball Mystical Adventure. Again, signed by Chuck Huber. Everyone knows how I feel about Chuck Huber. I love the guy. He is so great. Another one is the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie, signed by Vic Mignogna. And I sent that to him in 2022 or 2021. I'm thinking 2021. He did that as a birthday gift for me, and right before the interview on my channel. So yeah, Vic is just one of those people. I am so proud to have this on my have his signature on my DVD. He is so cool. This is Miraniki Future Diary, which is one of my favorite series. I'm aware that this is a bootleg, unfortunately. I bought it way back in 2015 because that's all I could afford. And then there's Pluto, which I'm not sure if this is a bootleg or an official product or not, but yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to go towards bootleg. The artwork may look very familiar to you. Yet again, the creator of Monster did this series. It's only 8 episodes long, and it is so well written, so well done. I would say it rivals Monster storytelling. Next up is Sonic the Hedgehog the movie, which I have owned since high school, and it is just one of my favorite little movies that I own. I mean, this one, it made me a Sonic fan. I don't care. I'm a dork when it comes to this. And finally, I'm not done yet. Hellsing Ultimate, which has probably my favorite English voice actor of all time in it. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell the guys who I've interviewed. Crispin Freeman as Alucard is one of the greatest performances ever. He's not as good as he is as Kirei Kotomine, but, you know, I love it. Super Android 13 in the Bojax movie. Steelbook version. I had to have this. I just bought it for the cover. And it does have the Japanese music. Even though I'm not a fan of either one of these films, I still like them. Here is my Lupin the Third, Castle of Cagliostro. And a fun fact for this is I actually like watching the Streamline dub to this movie. I really like Bob Bergens as Lupin, even though they call him the Wolf in it. Here we go. My Madoka Magica, the movie. And I really love this. I only bought part 3 because this technically is a continuation of the series. It is that good. Next up is Angel Beats. And Angel Beats is just one of my favorite series of all time. I originally just bought it because Hilary Haig's voice actress was in it. But I watched it and I ended up falling in love with it. It was so damn good. Sonic X. And yes, I own Sonic X. And not only do I own it, I had Jason Griffith, the voice of Sonic and Shadow, sign it for me. Yeah, it's campy, it's cheesy, I know it's goofy, but yeah, he even signed the inside of this for me. Yeah, there we go. I really love his Shadow the Hedgehog. Easily one of my favorite performances. Another one that I really am proud to own that's signed is my Akira set. Look at that. Jan Rabson, the voice of Streamline Dub Tetsuo, signed this set for me. And I got to keep it. He signed it in 2016. And after he passed away, I just, think this is one of my favorite treasures that I own. I do know the Streamline Dub isn't as up to date as, say, the 2001 dub, but I don't know. I have a soft spot for it. I got my friends to watch this version of the series, and even they think that the dub has more emotion in it. Hellsing again. I guess I didn't put them all in one. Next is, well, the Dragon Ball superhero movie, which I have yet to watch. And I bought the steelbook to it because, well, artwork. I normally don't like to buy this stuff to support Funimation as much as I used to, even though they're not Funimation anymore. But yeah, Neo Tokyo, which is by the same creator as Akira, and it's just so good. Now this, unfortunately, is a bootleg. The actual DVD cost of this thing is like $200, and that I do not have. This is a bootleg too. This is the Blue Water dub of Dragon Ball GT. I actually find this dub more script accurate. And I really like Mr. Satan's voice actor in it. He's voiced by Master Asia, so that wins some points. And Kid Goku himself is played by Saisaishi's voice actress, Zoe Saussure. I have done a retrospective on my channel about this dub and how much I support it and really like it. And a lot of Dragon Ball GT fans actually really like that video. This one is... I'm so sorry. This is also a bootleg. It is ripped off the 4Kids set. I like the English cast to this series. And what's coming up next is I'm going to do a Dream Team voice cast choices for this series yet again. I do think that the editing is terrible, but the voice cast is solid. There's Spirited Away, which, it's a very special series. One of my favorite movies in general of all time. It is that good. I did get Fate Extra Last Encore, and the only reason that I bought this to have a physical copy was because my Netflix account went out in 2023, and I couldn't watch it again, so I bought it, and, I may or may not have a thing for Red Saber. Here is more, My Neighbor Totoro. And this is the Fox dub. Yes, this is the original Streamline dub. One of the first Streamline dubs ever put on a physical DVD. Then there is my special Psychic Academy sets. Everyone knows I'm a big fan of this series. It doesn't have an English dub, unfortunately, but it's still really good. And finally, to cap it off, Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Side of Dimensions. So, well, I bought this series, I bought this movie to try it out. It's uncut, but they still let the 4Kids music in it, unfortunately. But it's still a solid series. I still have a couple more DVDs and stuff to go over on my second shelf, and I'll get to that in just a moment. Okay, well, here is the last of the miscellaneous stuff here. And this is just basically what I had under my other shelf, well, my hidden shelf or whatever. So I'm just going to show it while I'm sitting here at the table. Nothing too special. There's not much here. Here's volume 13, like I said, that I did own of the original Naruto set. And none of these are really signed, so I'm not really going to show them off. Here's 14. And 15 on top of 16. That's about it. The Shippuden sets, though, I will show a little bit of those off. I got to get them in order before I do that. Box set 1. And there is a nice thing about box set 1, if I could find it. There we go. Liam O'Brien, the voice of Gaara, signed this one. And Brian Donovan. And that's about it on that one, on volume 1. Yeah, like I said, I sent a lot of stuff off to be signed. Here is volume 2. And I'm not sure if I have this one signed or not. Oh, I do. Brian Donovan again. And volume 3, which I'm looking here. I probably do have it signed. And I do. Right here. This one is actually pretty special. Brian Donovan and Danielle Judovitz. Of course, I was going to get Steve Staley to sign it, but I haven't been in contact with him since I sent this off. So, it's a pretty special set. Next up is, I think, volume 4. I don't have any of this one signed or anything, but I own it. So, there is that. And finally, there is this one. And I do have this one signed. And there's a reason that I only own 33 and not the others. Because, like I said, I have all of Team Guy's signatures. Skip Stelrett signed this one. And this is where Guy uses all 8 of the 8 gates. I had to have it. Like I said, I have not shown these sets off in... I don't think I've ever shown them off in a video. So... that's about it on that. Next up is, well, Inuyasha. Now, your OCD may strike in because I'm going to show these completely out of order. Because I didn't have them in order. Here, Season 1. And, well, Season 5. And, Season 6. Yeah, like I said, I didn't take super good care of these things, so you'll have to excuse me. I think this one is Season 7. Season 4. Like I said, these are out of order, so if your OCD strikes up, then your OCD is going to strike up. And, of course, Season 2. I had to read it just to make sure. These are the ones that are kind of hidden under a second shelf where some of my manga is. So, yeah. I've got quite a bit. Here's another bootleg series. Mega Man Star Force in English dub. Well, I'm a big fan of the games. I had the DS games years ago, and I love the DS games. Here is... let's see if I could find them all here. I don't think I had them all... nope, there they all are. Just as I thought, they were all here. Let's see, I think that's it on those. Oh wait, there's an Inuyasha movie. See, like I said, I'm out of order on these. This is my favorite Inuyasha movie because it features the best character, Sesshomaru. Okay, here is my case closed set, and this is the old Funimation dubs of these. I love these so much. Yeah, the dubbing is not the best, but it's still so much fun. I'm pretty sure that's not a bootleg. I'm pretty sure that's official. I think it's just the save artwork. Everyone knows the save artwork is just the cheap way to buy anime. Here is Fist of the North Star, the movie. And this is the Streamline Pictures version of that movie. See that little logo down there? Streamline Pictures. Then we finally have Cowboy Bebop, the movie. And I did get this. I got lucky and got this one signed also by Bo Billingsley. Trigun, the movie. Badlands Rumble. Great film, but unfortunately it did not have Dorothy Fawn in it, and it was very disappointing. X, the movie. X is awesome. I really love this movie, and I've had this movie since high school. It's just crazy on how crazy good the movie is. Although, the anime series I used to own, I don't know what I did with it. It's down there somewhere. Street Fighter 2, the movie. And this actually has my favorite voice cast for Ryu. Skip freaking Stelrett, yet again, comes back and voices Ryu, and he's the best version. I'm sorry, Kyle. He's the best. Richard Cancino even voices Vega in this one. The Trigun... not Trigun. Oh, man, my head is all over the place today. The Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood OVA special. I own this. I have never watched this. So I'm not exactly sure what it is or what it's about. Next up is Perfect Blue. And this is just one of the greatest thriller anime series or movie that I have ever watched. And of course, the old manga studio did it. And two of my favorite voice director, sound department people worked on this, the Claypools. Everybody knows I love them. Here is, well, I just put these all in one. Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles. The only reason I got this series was because Vic Mignogna's in it. And finally, the Bleach Movie 1, which is, honestly, I have not watched this series. I have not watched this movie. I've only watched movie 2. And I have a funny story about movie 2. The first time I ever watched it, it was taped off a DVD to a VHS, which is just hilarious. And then we got Princess Mononoke, one of the greatest anime movies of all time. Top 5 for me. Top 5. The voice cast is perfect. We even get Billy Bob in this. So I'm not going to complain, really. And finally, my final box set, for sure, Chrono Crusade. Yep, I could not go without showing my favorite voice actress, Hilary Haig. Here, I don't have it signed, unfortunately, but yeah, this is one of the best ways to watch it. Anyhow, that about does it. I finally showed off a good portion of my collection. Now, I didn't show off my Blu-rays or anything like that. Maybe next time I'll show off some of my manga, which I don't have much. I sold a lot of my manga about a year ago. And I could show off some of my signed video games that I own. I don't have much of a video game collection because I'm not a gamer like I used to be. So yeah, I mean, I do have some signed video games, though. So don't fret, I can show some stuff off. But, is there anything else you want me to do? I do realize that I could be doing another Dream Team voice cast, which I just might. Get ready for that. That could drop really soon. Anyhow, it's been a pleasure doing this video. I hope everybody who actually watched this thing enjoyed it. If you have any more requests, drop them down in the comments. And always remember, I'm listening.